CBS News Chief White House Correspondent Major Garrett at Trump Tower in Manhattan this morning. And Major, Trump didn't just win, he demolished his competition last night, not just winning each state, but every county in all 5 states. He also took each state with over 50% of the vote. It seems you could pick from many, but what was the big key last night for the Trump campaign?
Well, they were well organized, they were well deployed, and there was, in talking to Trump aides and strategists last night, they do believe there was something else in the air that drove more Trump supporters than might have otherwise shown up to the polls. And that was this 11th hour, very publicly awkward alliance between Ted Cruz and John Kasich. It didn't exist in any of these 5 primary states, but Trump strategists believed it did send a signal to their supporters that something was up. And it was a good idea for them to show up in large numbers to sort of let the country know, let the Republican Party establishment know, let Ted Cruz and John Kasich know that they're out there and they want to support Trump in as big as numbers as they possibly could. Now, did that mean that Trump was in danger of losing any of these states? No. But I think there is some element of the magnitude and the scope of his victory in all 5 states that is at least partially a result of a backlash to this Cruz and Kasich alliance. And I will tell you, I put together my own estimate as the number of delegates that Trump might win last night, and I, as I often do, gave it to Trump strategists. I had it at 103. Most of them looked at that and said, wow, that is way, way high. We don't think we're going to get anywhere near that. We'll be happy at 95, 98. 103 is way beyond our general projections. Well, they're at 105 now, and they haven't distributed all the delegates yet. So it was an incredibly good night for Trump. Mathematically took Ted Cruz out of the first ballot equation and continued the momentum that he restarted for his campaign here in New York a week ago.
Yeah, we're showing the numbers right now. The optics of 105 to 5 to 1 certainly tell the story to a degree. You actually asked Donald Trump, does he consider himself the presumptive nominee? It's a turn of phrase that traces back to the Charlotte Observer and William Howard Taft in 1908. He entertained the question and said yes. Does this render, if nothing else, the strategy for Ted Cruz in Indiana a fool's errand at this point?
Well, not a fool's errand, but it creates a psychic momentum against the Cruz campaign that is going to be very hard to counteract. Even if Ted Cruz says, well, here's who my nominee is, even if he says, I've got the endorsement of Governor Mike Pence, I'm not sure either one of those 2 things are going to happen, but it's possible one or both of those things could happen. It's still going to be very hard for Indiana Republicans to look at the Cruz campaign and say, you know what, this is still a credible means by which to stop Trump's nomination. But if you do believe that, and you do believe in that cause, meaning that if you're a Republican and you don't want Donald Trump to get the nomination, Indiana is about the last place that there's going to be a credible effort and can be a credible effort to first blunt Trump's momentum and then possibly reverse it. But that's going to be very difficult because, as Trump often says, and is true in politics, even if Trump doesn't say it, momentum matters, and he has it now, undoubtedly.
Indeed, not just the GOP frontrunner today, but perhaps, in his words, the presumptive GOP nominee. Chief White House Correspondent Major Garrett, we appreciate it.
Thanks.